Today I will be replacing a belt and bristle roller for my vacuum cleaner. On this particular model, it has a caution that if the vacuum suddenly stops, refer to the owner's manual. What had happened with this unit is the belt got worn out and the bristles have not worked the correct way since. On the vacuum, I found the part number so that I could buy the supplies online. I purchased my belt and bristles. The belt part number is on the side shown here, and to match up the bristles I can find the part number on the side here. I will be using a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver to perform this. First, I'll remove the housing by locating the screws that hold it in place. There are 4 screws for this housing. I will release the top end of the vacuum and set it down to have easier access to the screws. Once the back screw is up, I will wiggle the housing to make sure that it is able to come up freely. Now when I lift, I want to lift from the front towards the back and up. Now I have complete access to the bristles and the belt. As you can see, this belt is very worn and barely has any tension on it at all. The bristle roller is held in place by being pushed into its slot and the belt is wrapped around it. I will use a flathead screwdriver to lift up on one side of the bristle and then use my hands to lift up on the other side. The belt will now come off freely. The easiest way to remove the belt from the spindle is to pull it on its side, face it outwards, and lift up. I want to point out that on the side of the bristle roller there is a shape. The shape matches the exact indentation on the inside of where the rollers sit. This is so that the rollers sit snug in place. To put the belt back in its place, the easiest way is to pinch it to make an eye and put it right over the spindle. Now I can reinsert the bristle roller. What I would do is put the belt around the roller side, push one end down, and pull back as I push the other side close to the belt. This may take a little bit of force. Once the bristle roller is in place, I can now freely turn the bristle roller to make sure that the belt is aligned correctly on the roller. That looks pretty good. Now I can double check the tension on the belt. This is much better than the old belt. Take note that any gasket around the front has a place that it needs to sit. On this particular model, the gasket has a couple notches. If you look under the gasket, you'll see where it sits on the notches here. Make sure the gasket is seated correctly. Now where the belt sits close to the gasket at the front, you'll see that it has a matching part that matches the top housing. Be careful of any obstructions while placing the top of the housing down. Once the top of the housing is firmly in place, I will give it a couple smacks to make sure that the tabs have connected, locks them in place once I push them down. Not very much force is needed. Now I can replace all the mounting screws. After the mounting screws are reinserted, I can stand the vacuum back up and it is ready for use. Regular maintenance on the vacuum is very important. For this particular model, the filter is able to be removed, and on the back of the filter is the manufacturer's steps to clean this filter. You can also remove the hose on this unit Most vacuums allow you to do this. You can take the hose out of the suction side, and to the inlet it screws right on. You can turn the hose off of its mount, and now you can wash it out. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful.